So if you guys are ready, I know we got just people constantly piling in, but I'm going to go ahead and get started with this event. So everybody, welcome to the fourth pitch event hosted by the Beyond program here at Cedarville University. I'm Kyle Peterson, the Deputy Director of Beyond. And for those of you unfamiliar with Beyond, it is essentially a complete entrepreneurial ecosystem that encourages both CU students and alumni to become industry influencers through positions of impact in the marketplace, the mission field, and community. So if you're a student seeking to launch a business, check out the Professional Accelerator. If you're a CU alum or friend of Cedarville wanting to scale your startup, we invite you to be part of the new Business Accelerator powered by Ocean. If you're an investor looking to back Christian-led ventures, become a member of our Angel Network. And if you're interested in getting plugged in as a mentor or business that provides internship opportunities, please visit www.beyondcedarville.com. And when I get a minute, I'll post the link in the chat so everybody can see that. Tonight is going to look and feel very different than the past. Due to COVID-19, caring well, staying well guidelines, we were challenged to hold an all virtual event. And of course, being entrepreneurs ourselves, we never back down from a challenge. So here we are. Most everyone here has become familiar with Zoom over the last 12 months. What you are experiencing now is Zoom webinar, where only the host and invited panelists can share their audio and video. The pitch is being recorded, so you can check back on our Facebook page to view at a later time. Now, joining us tonight, we have a very special guest with a very special message to our contestants. Stinger, where are you? Can everybody see Stinger? We got some nods. Okay, awesome. Stinger, do you got a message for us? Hey, plain and simple. I love it. Good luck to all contestants. Stinger, thank you so much for swinging in briefly to offer those words of encouragement to our contestants. We'll give a round of applause to Stinger. Thank you. And I will continue with some of our housekeeping as we move forward. Speaking of contestants, we have 5 eager contestants ready to pitch their business idea to our expert panel of judges. They will each have 5 minutes to present, followed by 5 minutes of questions from the judges. We have a timer on camera. It's somewhere in one of these squares. Right now, it's probably a bit fuzzy, but we need to keep everybody accountable. So if any contestant goes over their time, I will mute them. And as a reminder, the winner of this event receives a $1,000 cash prize, and the runner-up receives $500, and everybody else receives $100. Pretty cool. They are joined by our panel of judges, who will be scoring them based on 8 different criteria. And before we get started, let's go ahead and introduce our judges. As I call your name, give a wave so everybody knows who you are. Scott Hartley is the founder and chief marketing coach at Master Plan for Success and president CEO of Caliber Computer Solutions, LLC. He has a passion for mentoring students and has joined Beyond as an entrepreneur in residence for this semester. Thank you so much for joining us, Scott. We appreciate that. Next, we have David Bates. He's an executive coach and consultant to growth stage technology and services companies. Prior to starting Wise Insights, he was chief operating officer at Role Model Software and has served in various leadership roles at startups and enterprise companies. Dave is a Cedarville alumnus. Is it class of '93? All right, very cool. That was a little before me, just a few years. Okay. And last but not least, our third judge is Taylor Miner. He is the founder of Third Wave Water, a company right here in Cedarville devoted to helping coffee connoisseurs brew the perfect cup. He also founded Telemetry Coffee and has served as a trustee for Cedarville Township. Some of you may recognize him from season 9 of Shark Tank. Taylor, thank you for joining us. All right. Okay, yes. Audience prizes. Audience, you're up to 151 and it's climbing. This is great. Because we're not renting the DeVries Theater, we decided to toss more money into giveaways. That's always a good thing. We have a few fun prizes to let go in between each pitch. with some grand prizes being drawn for at the end of the event. Of course, the grand prize all depends on you, the viewer. If we reach 100 live viewers at any point during this broadcast, we give away a pair of Apple AirPods. Looks like we've already unlocked that one. Awesome. Give yourself a pat on the back. If we reach 250 viewers at any point, we will unlock an Apple Watch Series 3. And if we manage to bring in 500 viewers, we will unlock an iPad. How does that sound? All these grand prizes will be drawn at the end of the event, and you must be present to win. I will copy and paste the list of attendees from the Zoom webinar tab into a random magic wheel selector, and we'll see if I can share my screen while I do that. That's going to be a lot of slices on that wheel, let me tell you that. And if your name is selected, just claim your prize by sending an email to beyond@cedarville.edu. That goes directly to me, and I will verify your identity against your registration details, so don't try and pull one over on me. Winners can claim their prize in person here on campus or have it mailed to them if you're joining us remotely. So house cleaning is done. Now, please, if you will join me for a brief word of prayer for our contestants and judges. Heavenly Father, we take some time to pause and reflect upon your greatness. We celebrate your holy attributes and pray that each one of us can reflect those in our daily lives upon those that we interact with. We thank you for your innovation as part of us and within the universe around us. We pray that we are moved to be good stewards of that creativity and that you will put in our hearts the desire to influence the world around us for the sake of your kingdom. We pray for calm hearts tonight for our students, and we pray that you'll give the poise and presence needed to properly communicate their ideas and that those ideas can grow into something larger. We pray for the wisdom on behalf of our judges and for your hand to guide our event tonight. Most of all, we want to thank you for your Son, Jesus Christ, who died for our sins, restoring the once broken relationship you had with your creation. It is in your Son's name that we pray these things. Amen. Thank you. Now, kicking off our event and going first is Trevor Lula, a senior computer engineering major with an idea for a Cedarville-based dating app designed for university students and alumni. Trevor, whenever you're ready, share your screen and take it away. You got 5 minutes on the clock.
Hi, I'm Trevor Lola. I'm a senior computer engineering student here at Cedarville University. This summer, I came up with the idea for, designed, developed, and then launched Cedar Mingle, an app for dating app for Cedarville University students and alumni. According to Pew Research, 27% of 18 to 24-year-olds claim to use an online dating service. Yet at the same time, according to my research, very few students at Christian schools use online dating services. This is for a variety of reasons, all of which Cedar Mingle attempts to alleviate. Our goal is to be a niche alternative to mainstream dating services by specifically targeting individual Christian schools, a market that is currently completely untapped. All users are required to use their Cedarville email address, making Cedar Mingle a safe community for students. As such, there's no creepy people and there's no catfish, and it makes eliminating the few unwanted accounts much easier. Our process for users is simple. You start off by creating an account and building your profile. You can add multiple images and rearrange them in unique ways, and then you can add lots of information about you, far beyond what other dating apps allow. Once your profile is complete, you can go ahead and explore other users' profiles. You're presented with one profile at a time, and you can choose to either pass or like each user. If the other user likes you back, a match is created. Once you match with the user, you can go ahead and directly message the other user right on the app. Here is a demo of the user interface. Here, Kristen is logged in, and she can edit her profile just like that. She can rearrange her photos. She can go up to Explore, and she can find a new user. Here, she's looking at Wyatt, and she's scrolling through his photos. She likes Wyatt, and because Wyatt liked her, a match is created between the two of them. Here, from her matches page, she can message Wyatt directly just by typing in here and hitting send. When I first came up with the idea for Cedar Mingle, I really wasn't sure how popular it would be among students. However, within 24 hours of its launch, just from posting around 25 posters around campus in dorms and academic buildings, Cedar Mingle saw 400 users in its app. Once the hype died down, that steadied out to around 100 users every day in Cedar Mingle. Also note that each user had an average engagement time of 12 minutes and 39 seconds. Cedar Mingle has all the key factors for success. First of all, Cedar Mingle is completely unique. By directly associating with individual schools, Cedar Mingle is an app like no other. Tinder, Bumble, OkCupid, Coffee Meets Bagel, Christian Mingle, all these apps exist to make money from their users. They do this by creating a ginormous pool of users. So Cedar Mingle focuses on the user's needs by finding someone in their direct social circles rather than having to sift through a giant pool. Furthermore, Cedar Mingle is sustainable. Between waves of new users, new students, and freshmen coming to campus every year, and humanity's never-ending search for romance, Cedar Mingle is sustainable long-term. And then finally, Cedar Mingle is expandable. There are countless small universities all throughout the country, each one with their own thriving student bodies who would love to have their own personal dating app. Currently, Cedar Mingle isn't monetized, but I'm working on developing a premium monthly subscription that would give users additional profile views. Right now, it's limited to conserve server bandwidth. Users would also be able to boost their profile so that it shows up sooner to other users, and then premium may include more advanced user discovery features. I would also consider selling out ad space to local businesses. And then as far as growth, the ultimate goal of Cedar Mingle is to spin off sister apps of Cedar Mingle at other Christian universities throughout the country. To do that, I would have to launch advertising campaigns at these different schools, similarly, but a little bit differently than how I did here at Cedarville. The required capital for this is $15 per app per year for domain names, $15 for hosting, $200 for a Facebook and Google Ads campaign to target 18 to 24-year-olds at the zip code of these schools, totaling $230 per app per year. I'm Trevor Lola, and this is Cedar Mingle.
All right, thanks, Trevor. Judges, go ahead and take it away. You got 5 minutes to ask questions.
All right, Trevor, I'm Scott Hartley. Excellent presentation there. I really, very clear and concise. I also like the slides where you kind of used what I would consider the story brand framework for kind of the 3 steps, kind of the 3 things, 3 main points that you wanted to highlight there. I've got a lot of questions that I wrote down, but I don't want to hog up all the time here. Okay. As far as like the premium fee. So you're looking to monetize this. One way is by charging a premium fee for users, and then also by expanding this out to other universities. So a 2-pronged question. What are you looking at to set your premium fee for the users to be? What do you think would be reasonable there? And then how do you plan to expand this to the universities?
So the cost for premium, I'm thinking would be around $5 a month through Stripe payment system. So they would be handling all the billing. As far as how I would bring this to other campuses, I would have to look into doing digital ad campaigns, like I said, probably through Facebook ads. But like if you put in 45314 and target 18 to 24-year-olds, you just got all the Cedarville students that you can target directly with Facebook ads. Does that answer your question?
Yep, great answers there. Next, Dave.
Yeah, great presentation. Thanks for the demo portion was really great. One of the things a lot of times happens is people get caught in the demo and it takes a long time, but you did a great job there. I'm curious about some of your customer development work. Early in the presentation, you mentioned that your research showed that 27% of people are using these apps, but that at Christian schools, that number is a lot lower. And I'm curious about why that might be, and what some of the barriers might be for an institution like Cedarville or Anderson or Taylor or any of these other places that you might want to branch out to. That might be reasons why they would not want to make that offer available to their students.
Well, we are unaffiliated with the schools. I think a lot of the reasons that students at these Christian schools don't want to use these dating apps is, first of all, they have a bit of a negative stigmatism of being a hookup app. So we're trying to stay away from that stigmatism by promoting a clean environment for Christian students to meet each other. And then forgetting the second part of your question.
It was really around, it's really around that idea that you mentioned, the marketplace apps and how they're perceived, and how a university might be concerned about that affiliation with their student body, and why they might not want to make that available. If you were going through the university as a benefit to the students, if you're just saying, hey, Facebook, tell me about all the people that are at this university, and then targeting them with ads, that's a different model.
Yeah, I wouldn't be going through the university, but our goal is to keep it clean. I've been staying on top of removing fake profiles, and I also have content filtering rules in place.
Yeah, so it's Taylor here. My question is on your expenses. Right now you have a very minimal kind of expense for registering the app. As you grow, you're gonna have to hire, potentially people for customer support, developers, and then how that kind of intertwines with your revenue. So being able to have, I guess, seeing each university's dating app kind of as a module where, okay, I need this many users, and this many users is how much revenue I have coming in, and then this is how much it costs to bring each one of those up. It would have been nice to see some market research on other apps profitability. I don't know if you have any of that to share outside of the presentation.
Yeah, it's hard to find market research specifically for the audience I'm looking for. I spent quite a while looking, but there really isn't any research done in that area. I just saw from my own research and my analytics from deploying the app in the first couple of days how popular it was and how everyone was talking about it. And I saw that there could be a business idea here.
Okay, is that it for the judges? Looks like we're running short on time anyway.
Just one quick question. Is this a online app as far as like a web browser, or is it an app that you download to your phone, or both?
This is an online app that runs in a web browser, so it's a web app.
Okay.
All right, we are out of time. Trevor, thank you so much. If you wouldn't mind giving up your screen. And before we roll into our next contestant, we're gonna give the judges some time to score, and we're gonna do a quick giveaway. So I think for our first drawing, I'm gonna give away one of these really cool dye sublimated gator masks that you can get at the Cedarville bookstore. They're kind of neat. I don't have one myself, so whoever wins this is gonna have to tell me how it is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to copy and paste all the existing attendees into our wheel of fortune, if you will, and I will see if I can share that screen. There we go. Panelists, can you see the wheel of fortune? Okay, so we have everybody's name in here. We're gonna do this for all of our drawings, and you'll only be eligible to win one of the smaller drawings, then we'll just remove your name. But everybody will be eligible to win the grand prize for the AirPods. That looks like it's coming. So without further ado, let's spin this wheel. We can't even see the names, but the wheel knows who's there, and it'll announce the winner. Katie Boyd. Okay, congratulations, Katie. Katie, if you wouldn't mind reaching out to me at beyond.cedarville.edu and claim your gator. If prizes are unclaimed, unfortunately, we just don't know, so we're gonna have to roll them over to the next competition. All right, Katie, gator is yours. Contact us. All right, judges, are you guys okay? Can I go ahead and introduce the next one? All right. Second contestant, we have Sean Hong, a CU MBA student concentrating on pharmacy. Sean will be presenting a cloud-based smartphone app that connects patients to medical professionals and third parties to assist with medication adherence. Sean, please share your screen and tell us more about your product. You'll need to unmute yourself. One more time.
Hello, my name's Sean Hong. I'm actually in the PharmD program at Cedarville. MBA was PharmD was not an option, and I'm actually a U.S. Army ROTC candidate. Here to talk about AdHero, a cloud-based technology designed to save the healthcare industry. So what problem am I trying to solve? Well, medication therapy only works when taken properly, and a big factor to why people don't take their meds is inconvenience, as patients struggle to take their medications when they are too busy. In fact, poor medication adherence costs the United States healthcare system $300 billion a year and is responsible for taking the lives of 125,000 people. So how can we solve this problem? Well, 77% of adults own a smartphone. So I propose AdHero, a medication adherence app that ties the physician, the pharmacist, the insurance company, and make sure that they're all in the loop. So it would send you notifications like and text message form. Well, what makes AdHero different? AdHero, it will update your medications as soon as they are filled from the pharmacy, as opposed to manually putting your medications in one by one. A forum is also available for support tips to better health and to conversing with other patients of similar comorbidities. I believe in the product because cloud technology enables doctors and pharmacists to monitor the patient in real time and access necessary information from the patient. And this gives the patient transparency and the ability to ask questions, closing the gap on poor medication adherence. What makes AdHero a different app is that it will also notify the patient's current healthcare practitioners of the patient's current drug regimen and list drug interactions and help the patient understand what exactly their medication is doing, such as, if I'm taking a blood pressure medication, how do I know it's working? Well, if you go to the bathroom more often, yes, it's lowering your blood pressure. Or what can I not eat while I'm on this medication, like grapefruits? Another benefit to this is that you will be notified of any medication recalls and be updated saying that, hey, you need to exercise while you're taking this while you're on this medication regimen. So what is in it for the provider end? Well, patients who see different specialists and are affected with different diagnosis will now have a cloud-based medication chart so that overlap in therapy is minimized so that they're not getting the same drug prescribed twice, or that there's communications between the healthcare providers. Insurances can let patients know which medications can be covered, when they're going to be paid out, how much their copays will be. And pharmacists can see the most up-to-date and accurate medication chart to counsel their patient. So to sum this up, AdHero offers convenience through eliminating new prescriptions, the peace of mind for the patient to be able to access frequently asked questions about their medication, and time and money savings through the insurance company. And it leverages 21st century technology to provide the best care.
Okay, if you're done, we're going to reset the clock and let the judges ask you some questions. Sean, starting with Mr. Bates.
Yeah, hey Sean, thanks for this, and thanks for your service to the country. I appreciate that very much. I want to make sure that we say that and acknowledge that. On the app here itself, this is important work, and it's work that's been going on for many years to try to help solve the problem of bad outcomes from lack of adherence. So one of the questions that I have for you is, this is a massive undertaking here. And when we think about minimum viable product for a first release, what does the minimum viable product look like, and who is it for? Is it for the patient? Is it for the pharmacy? Is it for the healthcare provider? Can you say a little bit more about that?
It would definitely be for the provider and the insurance first, because they need to know what's going on with their medication, and the insurance companies will have the largest monetary value tied to them. Because if I am not adhering to my chronic kidney disorder, that could in turn infect something if I had a comorbidity going on with my liver. So this would minimize repeat visits to the hospital in ER visits, and for physicians, this would reduce redundant visits. So I understand that a bare bones version of this would cost $34,000. That's not including the support staff I would need to maintain something like this and fix glitches. However, medication adherence has been, studies have shown that $300 billion is at stake, and I think we could cut off a decent chunk of that.
Yeah, but I have a question on the, I see how insurance companies and providers would really benefit, but I think the onus is on the patient to actually use this service. So if you did have buy-in from providers, from pharmacies, how are you going to, I guess, hook or bring in the patient to actually use it? Have you thought of that?
Well, a good part, what we learn in pharmacy school is that counseling matters, motivational interviewing matters. When you're counseling your patient and you help them understand the value, and you coach and mentor them, saying that you want to get to better health, right? Well, this is a tool that can keep you, that will remind you of the drugs you're taking, and ensure that that the medication is working. And if you have questions about it, go onto the app. There's an FAQ in there. There's access to a healthcare professional on there. This app, the cloud-based technology was designed so that the patients understand what their medication therapy is actually doing. And when you understand something, and when you believe in a product, you'll follow.
Scott, any more?
Yeah, so Sean, great presentation. Very interesting concept here. How do you plan to monetize this? Is it going to be billed to the patient? Is it going to be, because your first target audience, it seems like, is you said the provider and the insurance companies. Are you looking to the insurance companies to subsidize this? What's kind of the plan?
Yes. If people had to pay to download this, I think that would be a massive barrier, and that would be a faux pas. It should be free. A lot of the times, the people who are most non-adherent are people who are the underserved. So it would be in the best interest of the physician to see what the other medications my patients are on, and to the insurance companies, so that they're not paying for double therapy.
Okay, any last questions? All right, thank you, judges, for your time. Please continue to score. And Sean, thank you so much. And I think we'll go ahead and have another giveaway. Just a reminder that we are up to a total of 198 participants. That's just about 50 shy of where we can be giving away an Apple Watch. And I really do want to give away an Apple Watch. So you can just go ahead and forward that registration link to family, friends, roommates, whoever, and have them join us. And maybe we can bump up some of those numbers a little bit. But for now, we're going to do another giveaway. Those who have attended the pitch live in the past know that I like to give away expired unicorn Pop-Tarts. But I'm going to save those for myself this time because they're a pain in the ship. So let's look back here. I think we are going to go for, we'll just do the Cedarville pennant. Similar to the one I have in my office. I bought two because I liked it so much. And this is pretty easy to ship. Great to hang in your dorm room or your office. So Cedarville pennant. We're going to do drawing the same way. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And we'll go back to the magical wheel of fortune here and see who it picks this time. Panelists, thumbs up if you can see the wheel. Great, thank you so much. Okay, here we go again. Rachel Fisher. All right, Rachel. I'm writing your name down. If you can, please contact me at beyond@cedarville.edu, and this one will be yours. Rachel, thanks for dialing in and watching the pitch with us. Okay. We have a few more. Well, we've got 2 down, 3 to go. We got some more prizes after that. And it looks like we are bumping up our participants a little bit, so that's great. Judges, if you are set, I'm going to introduce our third contestant for the night. All right, so next up, we have Jessica White, a freshman social work major who is looking to create a self-sustaining ministry and group home for traumatized teens. Jessica, share your screen and make sure you're unmute, and we're going to start the timer at 5 o'clock or 5 minutes. We'll pause it. If for some reason somebody's PowerPoint doesn't work, you might just have to go and present it without the PowerPoint, but looks like Jessica's got that figured out. So Jessica, please go ahead.
Hello, my name is Jessica. I would like to open up a residential treatment center that's founded on God's truth and guidance. It's going to be called The Lord Heals. Our mission statement at The Lord Heals is to allow teens to process their trauma through time spent in God's Word in the hopes of building a relationship with Him and cultivating a strong and healthy life. The problem is that teens in America are suffering. According to SAMHSA.gov, the national average of child abuse and neglect victims in 2015 was 9.2 victims per 1,000 children. These teens really need to know the love of God. We hope to support them through Bible-based professional care and therapy that would allow them to function well in a family and in their daily life. Our base verse is going to be, "For I am the Lord who heals you," Exodus 15:26. In my own personal life, I have seen how hard it is to go through secular counseling and how sometimes it may not be effective in the life of myself and in the life of my sister. It has motivated me to start a residential treatment center that is founded on God's Word. When you go to God with your struggles, you really have to face them head on. And with God, there's always more, and He is an amazing healer. The timeline is I started pursuing my social work degree in August of 2020. I hope to graduate from Cedarville in May of 2024 and walk into my own residential group home, The Lord Heals. I plan on completing my master's in 2025, and then about 4 years later in 2028, I would like to branch out to different places with my group home. I would like for my group home to function with highly equipped staff that are held accountable, that allows the Lord Heals to function in a safe and organized manner. We hope to build a lifelong skills in the lives of these teens, effective with the counseling and just our own walks with the Lord. We want to help them build a strong school and church and extracurricular activities support to help them support and have a good, healthy community. Our hope is that we will be able to house about 8 teens in each home. We would like for them to start off their day in God's word, and we would also like to coordinate a group therapy time as well as independent therapy that will help them learn about the Lord and also teach them life skills. Our foundation will be on God's word, and which will help truly heal the hearts of these teens. Our funding and supporting will come through the insurance and the parents. It's going to take about $846,000 to run our group home every single year. We plan on having about 10 staff on, that would be a counselor, home aides, and admin. We estimate our startup cost to be $370,000. Our prayer is that the Lord Heals will serve as a glorifying testimony to the mighty one who does great things for his children.
Okay, Jessica, are you ready for questions from the judge?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Jessica, I had a question on the, did you say it was 18 kids is what you thought that would be in the home? And I guess would be how long of, how long of a stay would they be there for? And if that cost were to be broken down for how much the parents or insurance would have to pay, what is that cost looking like for the user?
So, day-to-day costs we would be actually housing only 8 children at a time. The daily cost is going to be about $2,000. That's to like actually send your child. Our operating costs will probably be about anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 per day.
So for one patient, they will have to pay $2,000 per day is what their cost will be?
Yes, their cost will be $2,000 a day because they will be receiving counseling on top of like the medications that they would need with all the services, including food and housing and everything.
I got a follow up kind of to that, and it's on the financial side of things as well. And that has to do with your what we would traditionally call customer acquisition costs. So does your startup estimated budget include sort of that outreach work to either connect with the insurance companies so that they know to refer people into you, or do you have in mind that you're going to reach out to providers so that they would refer, or would you reach out directly through advertising and that sort of thing to individual patients and their families?
We would reach out to the insurance companies to make a connection with them, so that way they can refer people to us.
And do the budgetary numbers that you have in place for opening the first one, do they include that kind of financial investment from you?
They do.
All right, Jessica, this is Scott here. So great presentation. I really, really love the idea, and I can see where this could really meet a lot of needs, because I think you're spot on that a lot of teenagers, do definitely have, some trauma that they need some assistance, working through, and doing that in a Christian environment is definitely much better than a secular environment there. As far as like your startup costs and things like that, you're looking at about $370,000 a year. Have you already done some initial market research, like looking for a facility that would house 8 people and accommodate the staff and maybe the different types of rooms and everything? What all have you kind of done as preliminary work with your idea?
I definitely have like looked into different housing ideas, and I have a pretty good floor plan for like what I would like for the home to look like, just so that way I want it to be incorporating everyone and to have togetherness, like almost in a family setting, because they truly just need that support. So.
Yeah, I'll ask another kind of related question to that. We talked previously about MVP as a minimum viable product. I'm curious, your timeline, sort of finishing school and then walking into your clinic. One of the things I'm curious about is there a way to do this cheaper, at least initially, to get the things off the ground and to start sort of start testing the idea that this would work? For example, there are many, many group homes. There are many, many inpatient kind of care places. I'm wondering if it might be a lower cost entry to test the hypothesis by providing that programming to an existing facility, so you don't have all the overhead and liability and cost of an actual facility, but you can test the programming aspects and show efficacy results from that.
That was something that I would like to look into, yes.
All right, any last questions from the judges? Okay, judges, thank you. Jessica, thank you very much for your presentation. All right. Let's go ahead and do another giveaway while the judges are finishing up their tallies. We're going to go ahead and give away another one of these CU mascot gators. Gosh, I really wish I got one for myself. Whoever wins this one, you can give it back to me if you want. I won't complain. Okay, so once again, we have copy and pasted our list of attendees in the wheel selector, the wheel of names. Let's go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go back here and look at all those names in here. I think we were at about 205 last time I checked. We're really close to that Apple Watch. All right, let's go ahead and spin. Okay, is that Ariane? Erin? I'm sorry, I'm bad with these new type of millennial names. No, I'm just kidding. Hoosier, Ariane Hoosier. You win a mask. Congratulations. Got your name on it right here. Please email me at beyond@cedarville.edu to claim your prize. All right. Judges, if you're all set, we're going to go ahead and introduce our next contestant. He is a veteran of the pitch. Joel Kendall is a junior economics major who has an app that turns Canvas assignments into to-do lists within Google Tasks. Joel, please go ahead and share your screen, and I'll put 5 minutes on the board for you.
Thank you, Kyle. So like Kyle said, my app is something that can make the start of every semester so much easier for every student. And here's the pain point. When every student starts a new semester, we have a whole bunch of things that are coming at us. We just moved back from home, got over break. We've got to get ready to prepare to work. We've got to get ready to be diligent to the tasks that the Lord has given us. And so what my app would do would ease that burden. There's currently 4 things that I would say are sort of a pain point when it comes to doing homework, other than doing the homework itself. First, it's really easy to forget tasks. The professor mentions something in class. Hey, don't forget your homework's due on Monday. And then Sunday night comes around and it's like, uh-oh, I forgot about my homework. So this would make it more difficult to forget tasks. Second is that it's often quite frustrating to be able to have to write down a list of every single thing from the syllabus or that the professor mentions in class. The third pain point is that with all these apps and devices and everything like that that we have these days, our attention is divided in so many different places. And so the idea was to simplify it. A lot of users already use Google Calendar to plan out their meetings, to plan out their meals with people, to plan out their classes. And there's actually an integration that I'll show you guys with Google Tasks right there on the sidebar, where you can just click and drag right into when you want to do the task. And so the fourth pain point is actually that of a generic technology. A lot of these technology things, they try to do it all. And unfortunately, that means that they're not very good at doing one specific thing. And so what I'm going to show you now is how students can get their tasks from Canvas. I'm actually going to switch over and I'm going to share what my dashboard looks like in Canvas. And you can see here, I've got all my classes and I've got various notifications and things like that. But actually a lot of students, at least I, when I first used Canvas, didn't pay much attention to these things on the side over here, all the various due dates and the calendar and the journal entries and the homeworks due. And so there's actually a built-in task for every assignment that a professor lists on his Canvas website, if you will. And they all show up on here conveniently for us students. The problem is that that's not often our routine. We don't often check Canvas to see how we're going to plan our day and translate what we want to do with the day into how we're actually planning the day. And so my app would actually solve that. So what I'm going to do now is show you what Google Calendar looks like without my app. As you can see here, we have just a typical Google Calendar layout. We've got all my classes, got various things like CU Lead and the pitch. And over here is that to-do list that I have integrated. So you can see to-dos, you have a list of various tasks right here. You can complete them. I'm competing in the pitch. I'm going to call my mom, who's in the audience here today. Hi, Mom. And as you can see, there's nothing here right now. So what I'm going to do in the background is I'm actually going to run my program that grabs all these tasks from Canvas, and it's actually going to start making lists in real time for every single one of my classes. And so when I do that, you're going to be able to see how it's going to create lists automatically based on what's in Canvas, and it's going to populate that with my to-do list from Canvas. And it's going to create every single one for a new class. As you can see, finance and econ, it's starting to add them in here right now. So I'll go ahead and click on there. And it's inserting, don't worry, I already did this homework. It says it's old, but that's what's still on Canvas. And so it's going to start to import it into Google Tasks right here. And after a while, each class is going to show up and I can switch, all right, what do I have to do for this business class? And it shows me all the assignments there. And then it's going to pop them up on here with their due dates. So that way it makes it really easy for me to just go in here and to complete my assignments. I go in here, mark it as complete. And then now you have a simple solution for taking the tasks in Canvas and putting them into Google Tasks in a much more manageable fashion. I initially discovered the idea when I really wanted, I use Google Tasks and Google Calendar all the time, and I really didn't want to use Canvas to manage those tasks. And so I discovered that I could do this by developing my own app. And so this was based on a lot of market research. There's approximately 18 million students that use programs like web-based interfaces to do homework like this worldwide. 7 million of those are on Canvas. This has actually increased from 2018, despite the lower enrollment rates and things like that because of COVID. Canvas is actually growing as a learning management software. And so that really gives us a big market for all these students who would love to have this feature who use Google Tasks. This is just a screenshot of what I made. It really helps integrate with existing apps, and it saves you hours of work of going through your syllabus, typing those in manually, typing in the dates, and it's just a huge pain. And it's so much easier with the app that I've written. And then here is an example of what I could do with various levels of funding corresponding with the pitch. So $100 can buy me a developer license for the App Store, the Apple App Store, and I can put an app on the App Store with Apple with $100. For $500, I could get a Google Cloud account and just buy more cloud computing essentially for my app to be able to transfer those assignments, and I can run some Google ads. And with $1,000, I would have enough funding to be able to give me time to research and give an artificial intelligence time to just take those tasks from a PDF instead of having to use a learning management software. And with that, that's all I have. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Good timing, because you're out of time. Judges.
Joel, this is Scott. Great job, great presentation. lot of positive feedback I'm getting on this. There's some students out there that would adopt this in a heartbeat. So I've got a lot of questions. Obviously, I don't have a lot of time to ask all of them. So I guess two things. One is I noticed that you mentioned that this is something that you could put on the Apple App Store. Question one would be, are you looking to be able to put this on Android platform? Because there are those people out there that just don't love Apple stuff, which I don't know why. And then secondly is, how do you plan on monetizing this? Because, you know, are you going to charge like 99 cents per month if they download the app? Or how is that going to work?
Yes, sir. So for the first part, yes, I absolutely am planning to go to Android's platform because I believe regardless of the platform you should choose, this will be especially useful. Considering also it's a Google product, there's a lot more integrations with tasks and things like that. It'd make it even more useful. And the second part, I'm planning to monetize it by, I'm considering a lot of different models. I was considering 99 cents per semester as just kind of like a base, but I might also do something like $5 for a lifetime subscription kind of thing, where essentially it would expire after a certain time, like one semester. But if you buy the $5, it'd be like a simple in-app purchase to unlock the app for unlimited amounts of time. So that way they can always bring their assignments, like if they're a grad student or things like that.
Yeah, I had a question, Joel, on how integrated is this with Canvas? I'm not familiar with Canvas, so this may be more of an issue with me. Would this app be, I guess, would Canvas users be able to see it? Or is it more of like an affiliated third party? And if that's the case, I guess what would happen if Canvas had an update and then started doing that automatically, right? Like, so I know things like Shopify where they have a big app kind of community where people kind of improve that platform. Is that something that Canvas has as well?
Well, from my understanding of it, Canvas has a background thing where you can program it because there's you can have on-site hosting of the Canvas platform, and the network administrators can program a lot of codes, do fancy things like this. I personally don't have access to it, and I don't need access to it in order to make it my app. What I've done is behind the scenes, it actually allows you to export a URL from Canvas. And what I've done is have my program translate all that Canvas data, make it into Google data, and then put it into users' Google accounts. And so in theory, as long as they continue to maintain the Canvas data part that I've drawn it from, it should have some future reliability, so to speak, because it's one of the core features. Unless they remove the calendar and task features in Canvas, it should be able to continue to pull data from Canvas.
I have a technical question, and it has to do with that connection point. In most cases, you know, these sort of third-party apps are accessing things either by scraping something, which is not necessarily the best, or through an API connection. So when I don't want you to tell us anything proprietary about how you're doing it, but what's the risk that Canva plugs a hole that allows you to access that, and then all your users are somehow now not able to actually access Canva? Have you addressed that in terms of long-term viability and access to the data?
Yeah, thanks, Dave. So from my understanding, the question has to do with essentially what's the risk that Canvas stops me, or like, is there something they could change that might screw it up? From my understanding of how it works right now, the risk is very low. They use a very standardized format on their website. That's a widely globally recognized format among tech agencies, and it's a very common protocol used to transfer data from one site to another. And as I grow, I could have the opportunity to integrate it with administrators. Like I mentioned, they have access to APIs. I do not. But as I grow, I could see how, like I said, in the $1,000 level, there's so much room to be able to actually integrate more technically complicated solutions. But for now, it works on basically anyone who has a Canvas account. This is one of the features. I'm still working out the user interface and things like that. That's why I had it run in the background. But in theory, it should be able to actually allow you to use any Canvas account, unless, like I said, they remove the calendar feature. But that's so integral to, like, could you imagine a professor assigning something on Canvas, but it didn't have a due date? Like, that would almost mess up the way that assignments are tracked and given to students, and the information transmitted in that manner. So I would say on a scale from 1 to 10, the risk is about a 2.
Hey, Joel, I have one comment. I think one of the worries would be for me, first of all, I think this your presentation has been very well polished. I commend you on that. But when you think about your customers, you have your customer has to use Canvas, and then you also have to get people that use the Google Tasks. So that bubble gets smaller. If you could integrate with something like Zapier, and then now you can connect in with 100 different task apps, something like that from the business side would be much more appealing for an investor when they say, hey, you're really not limiting how many paying customers you can have. So just something to think about.
Yeah, thank you, Taylor. And in response to that, I believe 18 million students is a pretty good amount. And Zapier is an option. I actually researched it personally because I wouldn't go into all this time if there was already an app that did it. And I was like, well, there's just no app that does it. And I really want it to do this. And so I just programmed it and made it. So if there were an app on Zapier, it would have saved me a lot of development time. But right now, I could see how I could actually turn this into something that would integrate with Zapier. It's just the problem would be monetization.
All right, Joel, thank you. Judges, thank you for your questions. We do need to move on because we are coming up against 7 o'clock. We still got one more contestant and we need scoring and grand prize drawing going on. Very quickly, we're going to go ahead and do another giveaway while the judges are finishing up. And our fourth giveaway here is going to be for this really neat Cedarville University tumbler, water bottle, whatever we want to call it. So let's head on over to our wheel of names and see who we're drawing this time. And I did hear back from Rachel. Rachel was the winner of the pennant. She reached out to me and claimed her prize, so thank you. And Benjamin Tarwater, you win the bottle. You can pick it up. You probably know where I am. By the way, if you're on campus, you don't want to pick it up, I can drop it in the post office, but you just need to email me and let me know what your preference is. Okay, moving on to our final contestant of the night is Luke Swanger, a sophomore business marketing major who is looking to combat anxiety through an interactive smartwatch app. Luke, if you're all set, please go ahead and share your screen. You have 5 minutes to explain your business idea to our judges.
All right. Well, thank you for having me, Kyle, and thank you to the judges for being here and everybody watching. I'm going to be talking about an app to help combat the anxiety crisis in our country and worldwide today. My name is Luke Swanger. I'm a sophomore. I'm studying business marketing at Cedarville. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the next slide. So we're going to talk a little bit first off about the problem of anxiety. Anxiety causes high level of stress. It causes lost sleep, increased thoughts of suicide, depression, poor self-image. The list goes on with anxiety and the problems that it causes, and it really controls a lot of our life in some circumstances. Anxiety causes you to lose out on a quality of life, fun with others, and special events because you're constantly stressed out about so many different things. So we're also going to look at some statistics on anxiety as well. So according to Helpline, anxiety disorders are common, affecting about 18% of adults, but only about a third of people with anxiety seek treatment, according to the Anxiety and Depression Association of America. Due to COVID-19, everything going on this past year, we've also seen increased anxiety spike with the lockdowns of people being at home all the time, not being able to see their friends, not being able to go out and do sort of thing, other things as well. I got another statistics as well. So the CDC conducted a survey of 5,412 people between June 24th and June 30th, and the collected data on suicides is alarming. Roughly 25% of young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 say they've considered suicide because of the pandemic. About 30.9% of the respondents said that they had symptoms of anxiety or depression, and about 26.3% reported trauma and stress-related disorders caused by the outbreak. Over 13% said that they have used alcohol, prescription, and/or illegal drugs to deal with their pandemic-induced stress and anxiety. So what is my pitch? What is my proposition to help combat this anxiety crisis? I am pitching an app titled Anxiopeace. I'm proposing an app that will use an Apple Watch or smartwatch. It will monitor the heart rate of the user, and that will help combat anxiety through notifications. We have a couple different things we're going to do. So when the heart rate begins to spike or rise increasingly, they will receive an alert on their watch with a message, exercising ? Just asking them if they're exercising, is that the reason that their heart rate is beginning to spike or increasingly rise? If they choose yes, the message will go away, no problem, they're all good. If they choose no, they will be asked if they're feeling anxious. If they say that they're feeling anxious, they will then be addressed with certain prompts that help them to relax, such as breathe deep, pray, go for a run, hang out with your family, call your best friend. They will also have the choice of choosing a Bible verse as well if they would like that. I think that's as a Christian, I think that is a very crucial aspect that is offered in this app as well. They'll have pre-selected verses that they can choose from, or they can choose their own special verses as well. Another option for users will be to connect to a professional licensed on-demand mental health expert via phone call or Zoom, who can help them through their anxiety and help to calm them down. This will be available for an additional charge. To do this, we'll partner with a firm or a network of mental health professionals to deliver on-demand mental health to this user. This option may be critical, especially in saving someone from suicide. Down the road, the goal would be to have our own in-house mental health professionals on demand. All right, so one of the main focuses of this app is to prevent the anxiety spiral. Anxiety can continue to spiral out of control. That's where we'll start to see the suicidal thoughts increase, and that's the very dangerous and dark place. Through these prompts, the user will feel like they have a plan set in place to deal with these bouts of anxiety, and that will help to give them confidence. Another option of Anxious Peace that will be offered is to be able to connect with a trusted friend, mentor, parents, counselor, or a spiritual advisor. Users will also have the option to set up notifications of anxiety problems with someone that they trust. This also can be used for parents whose son or daughter have anxiety issues. Anxious Peace may help provide peace of mind to the patients. I believe Anxious Peace has the possibility to save countless lives by stopping the spiral of anxiety, which in many circumstances can lead to suicide. All right, so for the pricing, Anxious Peace will be available on the App Store and Google Play Store, and will be charging a recurring monthly fee of $9.99 a month. As mentioned earlier, users will also have the option to talk to a licensed mental health expert at the cost of $30 for 15 minutes and $2 for every minute after the beginning 15 minutes. I will also look into working with insurance companies that may be able to cover the cost for patients that deal seriously with mental health problems. So our target market is going to be teenagers to middle-aged adults and parents looking to purchase this for their son or daughter who deals with anxiety. This app can help anybody combat anxiety, from a preteen, from to an older adult, to a senior citizen. So it has a lot of room for expansion and growth, especially since combating mental health is a very untapped and large field, and millions of Americans and countless others worldwide deal seriously with anxiety. It delivers a threefold problem solution because it's communal, social, and monetary. Monetary will be able to deliver money if it is successful to me and possibly other investors. Communal, through working with other people. When you have anxiety issues, that the notifications will alert these people, and it will be able to help one another. And then social is by helping users in their fighting against anxiety. These people will be much more productive members of society and will be able to focus more on spending time with others and doing good.
All right, looks like you're out of time, Luke. We're gonna go ahead and put 5 minutes on for the judges, and then we'll go into our final scoring round. Judges?
Yeah, hey Luke, thanks for this presentation, and yet another really great and important topic to be addressing. So whatever happens there, I think it's a great thing that you're working at.
Thanks, sir.
I'm curious about sort of the total market. You did some great work presenting the market research, and it looks like this is initially targeted toward believers as a sort of a minimum viable product and smallest viable audience. I'm curious about the element of targeting to teens and their parents as the payers. What kind of data have you been able to collect about how those people spend money on mental health services that they care about for their student or their teen?
To answer that question, thank you for it as well. I don't have specific information on hand right now with how they are willing to spend money With my the logical thoughts that I've concluded on that, and I would like to do more research on that as well, and that's an excellent question. I believe that if their son or daughter deals seriously with anxiety issues, and this is a problem that can lead to suicide, depression, serious issues where they're not able to do anything in life. And I have friends and relatives who I know deal specifically with this, so I've seen this firsthand. I believe that $9.99 a month to pay for this app would be a very small fee if it successfully is able to deal with it. And if they use it for the first month and that's not something that's really helping them, they're able to cancel it. It was a $10 fee to start with, and then also the fee if they are in a serious situation where they also want to talk to a mental health professional. And like I said, I would like to also look into having insurance companies be able to cover these costs as well, which I think would be a very good target for creating revenue as well if we were able to have insurance companies cover the cost of this app. But from looking at that, I've concluded that $9.98 a month, $9.99 a month for users, if this truly is able to help combat anxiety, I believe would be a good price. And like I said, I'm going to make it where it's extremely easy to set up to cancel if this is not the thing for them. So it's extremely honest, it's open. And like you said about the target market, it could be targeted to Christians as well. But I believe that, and like I said, the Bible verse is an option for them. So it's not something that they have to do. So I think that this has a wide variety of people that it could be targeted to.
Yeah, great. Thanks for that, Luke. I want to make some space for some of the other judges to ask a couple of questions that they have.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah, I had a quick question on, did you do any research and find if there are any other apps out there that have funding through a insurance company is a thing? Is that more of a thought, or are there specific examples do you know of that where apps you can get them paid for?
I don't know specific examples of other apps. I do know that some insurance companies will pay for certain things like Apple Watches or smart watches, which this app would be working through to help cover that. I don't know about specific apps that insurance companies would cover, but in regards to an Apple Watch or smartwatch, I know that a lot of insurance companies or sometimes businesses as well will pay for an Apple Watch or a smartwatch to help keep their user, their person exercising more and diligent with that. So.
Luke, great presentation. I really like the idea. I know quite a few people who suffer from anxiety, overthinking and things like that. And this could potentially be a good tool, to help combat that. Just a couple of questions. My realm mostly is in marketing. That's what I typically specialize in. So obviously this is going to be a smartwatch app because that's what you have to have in order to be able to monitor the heart rate and everything.
Sure.
What have you done any market research as far as like finding out your target audience consisting of teens, mostly college students? How many of those actually, wear a smartwatch? I'm the type of person that I thought, well, I'd like an Apple Watch, but I don't really care for it. I may eventually get one because it's got some cool features, but it's not something that I personally would invest in right now. So your target market, how many of those, have smartwatches? And then number two is, because this is going to be one of thousands of apps in an app store, how do you plan to promote or market this particular app?
Thank you, sir, for the questions. I appreciate it. So just off personal experience with people my age and, where I work and stuff, with people a little bit older than me as well, I see especially, I'm 20 years old, especially people even a couple years older than me, especially like to use Apple or smartwatches. So from personal experience, I believe that a lot of people my age, a little bit older, even younger as well, because we'll be targeting a lot of teenagers for this as well. That would probably be our biggest target audience and area. So I believe that a lot of people do use the smartwatch and Apple Watches. And then for target audience, like I said, we will be targeting especially to teenagers and younger 20s. I think also we'll be targeting to middle-aged parents as well for their son or daughter. And the methods that
Luke, we got to cut you off here. We ran out of time. Scott, sorry you didn't get your question fully answered, but we do need to move on with the drawing. Luke, thank you so much for your presentation. Judges, if you wouldn't mind going ahead and finalizing your scores for our 5 contestants tonight. I have seen our participants as high as 210. That's about 40 short of the Apple Watch. You got approximately 1 minute to go get your neighbors online, to get your roommates online, to get your mom, your dad, log in from other devices. I don't care. I just want to see that number get up to 250, and we can do the Apple Watch drawing after we do the AirPods. If you are still online with us, please hang tight. We will do that drawing after we announce our winners. And looks like some of our scores are updating. They're coming in. All right. And I'm kind of a one-man show here, so you're going to have to give me just a little bit of time here. Okay. I should have some Jeopardy music playing in the background, but I didn't spin it up. I was also afraid of getting sued. Okay, judges, can you let me know when you are, we're going to do that, when you guys are done scoring. Luke, would you mind, if you haven't already, could you turn off your screen share? Thank you. I was having a hard time disabling that. Judges, how you doing? Okay. Taylor might be getting that last metric in. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and refresh the scoring. All right. And I got to plug him in to verify. Okay, just one last verification. Let's see. Oh, I see these numbers going up. We're up to 215, 16. I guess everybody's waiting to the last few minutes to dial in. All right, that's all right. Okay, double verification. All right, we got pretty tight. There's only 4 points separating first and second place. I want to go back. And one last verification because I don't want to get this wrong. Okay. Let's see if I can do this before anybody really sees it. Oh, this is going to be tough. Okay, so here we go. I am happy to announce that the runner-up for the 4th pitch event is Trevor Lula. All right, round of applause. We might have an applause track here. Trevor, congratulations. You're going to win a cash prize of $500. Okay, and going on to the grand prize, who will win $1,000, is Joel Kendall. Congratulations, Joel. We need a louder applause track than that. Okay, that means everybody else participating gets $100. So a round of applause to all of our wonderful contestants this semester on the pitch. All right. Contestants, I don't have a big check for you, but if you want a JPEG file of the small one, just contact me and it's yours. All right, 228, guys, really, 229. Okay, what am I gonna do? Sit here for another 10 minutes hoping it hits 250? I don't know. But we'll go ahead and we'll do a drawing for the AirPods on our magic wheel of names here, and maybe we'll hit 250. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. All right, we still got all the registrants in here. There were 290 some registrants when all was said and done. I want to know where they're at because they're really missing out on that Apple Watch here. Okay, so this is for AirPods. I'm gonna have to write this down. And we're spinning. And it's gonna be Kayla X-Line. All right, congratulations on winning some Apple AirPods. Kayla, you need to contact me. beyond@cedarville.edu to claim your prize. If I don't hear from you in like a week, I'm putting it back into the hopper for the next semester. Okay. Let's see where we're at. 226. Audience members, you're not working hard enough here. What's going on? I mean, seriously, get your little sister on the iPad. Log them in. You can use the same link. 227. Is it going to keep going up? Judges, what do you think? Unmute yourselves. Let's have a discussion here. Are we going to hit 250?
It's not looking promising.
I tell you, I don't know. It's tough because, you know, if we're living in grace, you know, maybe within 10%, it's tough. You know, it's this whole Christian life thing and bringing our values in is tough.
We know we have some students with multiple monitors. Does that count as multiple sessions?
The monitors, I don't know if count, but if they're logged in, and to log in, they have to register. So,
you know, I got
up.
another question about math here, because some of the people listed as panelists are actually also attendees.
Yes.
So
well,
if they had been bounced over to the attendee list, that number would actually be a little bit higher.
as we're talking here, the number keeps going up. I don't know if you guys can see it at the top of your right-hand tab. We're 243. So
if you count Sean, Joel, Jessica, Luke, and Trevor, I think you're at 250.
they are, now you're conning me here, Dave, because they are included in that participants number.
Oh, are they already?
46.
Yeah, 234. I got you. I'm with you.
We just got to hit 250 at some point during the broadcast. So, and I'm pretty sure
248.
I'm taking screen captures.
2 more.
Oh, we got to reach this. Like, I'm ready to log in on my iPhone here as some crazy user or something. Okay, let's see. Are we going to get it?
There we go. One more.
Oh, we hit it. 251. All right. Thank you very much. This is great turnout. All right. Well, hey, we're going to head back to the magic wheel of fortune, name generation, whatever it's called. I got to put down Apple Watch. It's a Series 3, by the way. It's not one of the more expensive ones. Maybe next time. I don't think we're going to hit the 500 for the iPad. So, all right. Wheel of names. By the way, whoever won the AirPods, you can't win the Apple Watch. I'm sorry. It doesn't work like that. But then again, those would be some incredible odds if that same name got picked twice tonight. All right, spinning for the Apple Watch. I really love this app. Jane Kanzig. Jane, you got yourself a watch. Congratulations. Of course, I don't have it here because I wasn't sure if we'd hit 250, but your name's on the paper. Contact me at beyond@cedarville.edu to claim your prize. Same thing, if I don't hear from you within a week, we'll just roll over into the next session. Guys, this was a great event. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to the judges, contestants, you were wonderful. Audience, thank you for dialing in. That does it for the pitch this semester. If you are a student with a business idea, be sure to check out some of the entrepreneurship classes here at Cedarville or the Startup Accelerator. My name is Kyle Peterson, and that is a wrap.